first round of the 2016 NCAA tournament gets started on Thursday, March 17th. The Kansas Jayhawks and Michigan State Spartans are the top two seeds to win the title, and they are both at odds of 5-1. North Carolina is at odds of 6-1, Kentucky at odds of 10-1, Virginia Cavaliers at 11-1, and the Oregon Ducks at 15-1. Apart from Oklahoma and Villanova, who are both at odds of 16-1, all other teams are at odds of 25-1 or more, so there is plenty of betting value on the board. Looking at the West region, Oregon is 28-6, and they will play the winner of the Holy Cross Southern game. Regardless of who wins between Holy Cross and Southern, it should be Oregon that takes this matchup. St. Joe's, who is 27-7, will go up against Cincinnati, who is 22-10. This should be an interesting and low-scoring game. Both teams will look to avoid mistakes and take this game down to the wire. Take the game under the total and enjoy the defensive plays. Cincinnati is at -2 in March Madness betting odds. Baylor, who is 22-11, will take on Yale, who is 22-6. The Bears played a much tougher schedule than Yale, and they have a big advantage in the middle. The only chance for Yale is to slow this game down and hit some three-pointers. Baylor is at odds of -5.5 in March Madness betting odds. Next up is Duke, who is 23-10, against UNC Wilmington, who is 25-7. This should not be a competitive game if Duke simply shows up and doesn't have a horrible shooting game. The only danger is if Duke is looking ahead to the weekend. Duke is at -9.5 in March Madness betting odds. Next up is Texas, who is 20-12, against Northern Iowa, who is 22-12. This could be an interesting matchup, as Northern Iowa has enough talent to beat Texas in this game. The Panthers are a good shooting team and they do not turn the ball over. This is an upset waiting to happen, as Texas is at -4.5 in March Madness betting odds. Texas A&M are 26-7, and they will play UW Green Bay, who are 23-12. A&M is a really good team, while Green Bay is all about creating steals. If A&M can just hang on to the ball, they can win this one easily. A&M is at -13 points in March Madness odds. Oregon State is 19-12, and they will go up against VCU, who is 24-9. Oregon State has Gary Payton II, but not much else. Neither of these teams is really that good, so taking the points with Oregon State could be the way to go. VCU is at -4 in March Madness odds. Last up is Oklahoma, who are 25-7, against CSU Bakersfield, who are 24-8. This should be an interesting game that Oklahoma wins by double digits. Oklahoma is just going to keep shooting three-pointers, and unless they have a cold game, UC Bakersfield simply does not have the offense to keep up. Oklahoma is at -13.5 points in March Madness betting odds.